Hello everyone. Now we discuss the concept numerical integration. So this is the part of the application of the numerical methods. So in this concept we are going to evaluate this integral using numerical methods. So numerical integration here, it is a process of evaluating the definite integral. So the integral is in the form of integration x naught to x naught plus nh f of x dx. So this is the definite integral, and this definite integral we are going to evaluate from a set of tabulated values of the function. See here, we are not going to integrate the given integral directly, but we evaluate this integral using the set of tabulated values, right? So this is what we call numerical integration. So here the values of x and y are there, that is x naught, x1. So x1 we define as x naught plus h, then x2 which is defined as x naught plus 2h, or it may also define as x1 plus h and so on. So xn we define as x naught plus nh. Okay, so these are the n values of x, and then y naught, y1, y2, so on yn. So these also we denote as f of x naught, that is y naught, f of x1, that is y1, f of xn, that is yn. Okay, so these are the corresponding values of f of x. Okay, so now we evaluate the given integral by using the three different rules. Okay, three different rules without integrating. Okay, now the first rule we discuss, that is Simpson's one third rule. So this Simpson's one third rule is given by integration x naught to xn f of x dx equal to h divided by 3 into the bracket y naught plus yn. So y naught plus yn means, so this y naught is the first value of x, y, and yn is the last value of y, plus 2 into y2 plus y4 plus y6 and so on, plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus so on. So this is the Simpson's one third rule, and here h is given by xn minus x naught divided by n. So with the help of this h, we are going to find the values of x, then we find the values of y. Okay, now so here is one note: to apply this rule, n must be a multiple of 2. Okay, so here to find the value of h, we use this n. So this x naught and xn, which are given in the integral, that is a interval x naught to xn and divided by n. So this n must be a multiple of 2, that is n equal to 2, 4, 6. So in that way we have to take the value of n. Now this whole process I just explain. So in what way we have to start, so which is the first step, and next how to evaluate the integral. See, to start the problem, first we have to think about the value of n. Remember that this n will be sometimes the value of n will be given in the problem, or if it is not given in the problem, then we have to choose the value of n. So as it is said, n must be a multiple of 2, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So this is the first step. We have to start with the value of n. Remember, if the value of n is given in the problem, taking that we continue the problem. If it is not given, then the n we can choose as either 2, 4, 6 or 8 and so on. So here I suggest take at least the value of n as 6, okay, not less than 6, because when you start with the 6 and more than 6, we get some accurate answer. Okay, we can say, as we are getting the approximate solution, so this is some better approximation we get when we choose some higher values of n. So this is the first step. Then the second step is we have to find the value of h. Second step, so h is given by xn minus x naught divided by n. These x naught and xn will be given in the interval. Taking that, we find the value of h. So what is this h? So h is the difference between the values of x. Okay, then the third step is, with the help of this value of h, we have to write the values of x. That is, as the interval is given from x0 to xn, so this interval we are going to divide. Okay, that is, we are going to write x0, x1, x2, so on xn, and the differences between these values of x is h. Okay, so with the help of this h, we divide the interval and we write the values of x. Okay, this is the third step. And also remember, if the interval is x0 to xn, and if the value of n is 6, we say that we divide the interval into 6 equal parts. Okay, this point you remember. If the interval is x0 to xn and n equal to 6, we say that we divide this interval into 6 equal parts. If n equal to 8, we divide the interval into 8 equal parts. Okay, this is the way we say. So like that, with the help of this h, we write the values of x. Then the fourth step is, using these values of x in the given function f of x. This f of x is what? This is y equal to f of x. We substitute first x equal to x naught, we get y naught. Okay, that is f of x naught. We put x value in the defined function, we get y naught. Then this is for x naught we get. Then we put x equal to x1 in the given function, we get y1, that is f of x1 we get. Similarly, when we put x equal to x2, we get y2 value, that is f of x2 we get. So likewise we continue, and so depending okay, that as the interval is xn, the last value we put xn, then we get yn equal to f of xn. Okay, this is the fourth step. By substituting the values of x, we get the values of y, y0, y1, y2 and so on yn. So in this process, so the last step is what? Finding the values of y. Once we find the value of y, so almost 80% of the problem is over, because we substitute these values of y in the formula. See, again I repeat, first what? We start with the value of n, if the value of n is given in the problem, taking that we continue the problem. If it is not given, for Simpson's one third rule, n must be a multiple of 2. Okay, we take n equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. Then with the help of n, if you find the value of h is given by xn minus x naught divided by n. Okay, then using this h value, we write the values of x. Okay, keep it, the difference between the values of x is h. Okay, we write the values of x, then we use these values of x in the given function y equal to f of x. We get the values of y, that is y0, y1, y2, so on yn. Now we use these values of y in the formula, in the rule, that is h value that we find. Okay, h value, then y0 plus y1 plus 2 into y2 plus y4 and so on plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus so on. Okay, so those values of y we substitute in the formula, then we get the value of the given integral. Okay, this is called Simpson's one third rule. Now we move to the next rule. The next rule is given by Simpson's 3/8 rule. Okay, so which is given by integration x naught to xn f of x dx 3h divided by 8 into y naught plus yn. Okay, that is again first value of y, and this is the last value of y, plus 3 into y1 plus y2 plus y4 plus y5 plus y7 and so on. See here, the multiple of 3 is missing. y1 plus y2, y3 is not there. Then continuing y4 plus y5, y6 is not there. Like that y7, y8, y9 is not here. Okay. Then those values we multiplied by 2, that is plus 2 into y3 plus y6 plus y9 and so on. Okay, where h is given by xn minus x naught divided by n. Okay, so here also, to apply this Simpson's 3/8 rule, n must be a multiple of 3, that is n equal to 3, 6, 9 and so on. So here again the same procedure we follow, that is taking the n. So for Simpson's 3/8 rule, n must be a multiple of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on we take. Then we find the value of h. From the h we write the values of x. Then using these values of x in the given function, we write the values of y. Again, all the procedure, all the steps are same, only the difference is in the value of n. Then we substitute those values of n, y in the formula. Okay, and the h value here. Then we simplify, we get the value of the integral. Okay, so this is called Simpson's 3/8 rule. And now the one point I just tell you, this is the common point in both Simpson's one third and Simpson's 3/8 rule. The common point is, suppose the interval is 0 to 6. Okay, suppose the interval is 0 to 6, where x naught is 0, xn is 6. Okay, now we take, suppose we take the value of n equal to 6, right? Then we find a h is given by xn, that is 6, x naught is 0 divided by n equal to 6. We get value of h as 1. Now we write the values of x. See, x naught equal to 0, then x1 becomes x naught plus h. X naught plus h is 1, then x2 is x1 plus h, 1 plus 1 2, then x3, x2 plus h, that is 3, then x4, x3 plus h, 4, x5, x4 plus h, 5, then x6, 5 plus 1 6. Okay, see, this is important one. The values of x are 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, and so these are the values of x. So the value the function will be defined, that is f of x. Okay, whatever the function will be defined, we use these values of x in the given function. For x naught we get y naught, then we get y1, then y2, y3, for x4 y4, for x5 y5, for x6 y6. So suppose these are the values of y, okay, y0 to y6, then here I just write the value the formula, that is Simpson's one third rule you take, or 3/8 rule. x0 to xn f of x dx equal to h divided by 3 into, I'm writing the general one first, y0 plus yn plus 2 into y2 plus y4 plus so on, plus next term is 4 into y1 plus y3 plus so on. So this is the Simpson's one third rule. See how we are using the values of y. So here, as I considered, 0 to 6 is the given interval, and this f of x it will be defined. Then h is 1 divided by 3. See, this point is important, try to understand this one. y0 plus yn, so y0 is the first value, yn is the last value. So here we have y0 first value, that are right, okay, that I substitute. Then the last value is y6, so yn is here, this is y6 here, plus first value plus last value, then 2 into y2, I substitute the value of y2, then I take y4. If you continue this, y2 plus y4 plus y6 plus y8 and so on, right? Now at this point you remember y2 plus y4, we do not write y6 here because already we used that y6 in this formula. Don't write again y6. So this point you remember, we take only y2 plus y4, so y6 already we used. Then this is the way we take the values of y, then plus 4 into how many values here, y1 plus y3, then we have y5, up to y5 we have y1 y3, then y5, till that we have y1 y3 y5. This is the way we substitute the values of y, clear, and we simplify this, we get the value of the integral, clear. The same we apply for the Simpson's 3/8 rule. Okay, now the last rule, that is called Wedel's rule. So Wedel's rule is given by integration x0 to xn f of x dx. The formula is 3h divided by 10 summation I equal to 0 to n k into yi, where k equal to 1 5 1 6 1 5 like that it continues, is 1 5 1 6 1 5 1 6 1 5, like that it continues, clear. Now when we expand this summation, like I take I equal to 0, see here it is a expanded form, taking n equal to 6, that is I equal to 0 to 6. So I'm taking the value of I up to 6. When I take I equal to 0, we get y naught. Then remember, the first value of k is 1. When I equal to 0, the first value of k is 1. 1 into y naught plus, when you take I equal to 1, we get here y1. When you take the I equal to 1, the second value of k we take as a 5. 5 into y1 plus, when I equal to 2, y2. Next what? 1 we take. Then when I equal to 3, y3. Then the fourth value here it is 6. Like that we continue. See here, 1 5 1 6 1 5 1. So this is for I equal to 6. Okay. For this is the formula when we take n equal to 6. Y naught when I equal to 0. Then when I equal to 1, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. It is up to when n equal to 6, right? Then we take the k values as 1 5 1 6 1 5 1. If it continues, then 1, the next is 6, then 1 5, like that it continues. And remember, to apply this Wedel's rule, n must be a multiple of 6. Okay, so that is n equal to 6, 12, 18 and so on. And this last one point you remember, this note, when we divide the interval x0 to xn into n equal parts, there will be n plus 1 values of x, that is x0 to xn. The corresponding values of y also n plus 1 in number. Okay, so that is nothing but, see here, the interval is 0 to 6. So when we divided this interval 0 to 6 into 6 equal parts, you remember, so we can say that we divide the interval into 6 equal parts. When we divide the interval into 6 equal parts, how many values of x we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Similarly, 7 values of y. So remember, this is the important point. When we divide the interval into 6 equal parts, we get 7 values of x and y. If you divide the interval into 8 equal parts, then we get 9 values of x and y. Similarly, if we divide the interval into 10 equal parts, we get 11 values of x and y. So this is the important point, because in the problem, this is the way the value of n will be given here. So now the problems on these three rules we consider in the next part of the video. Okay, thank you.